Okay, this is the metal stand video. People asked about metal stands. This stand you can still get. It's from sculpturedepot.net, and it's pretty good. It's got big rubber wheels. It can take a really heavy load. This sculpture is probably 100 pounds. It holds it fine. And the great thing about it is the wheels. I did replace the tabletop, which comes as a Formica kind of particle board, so I replaced that with some really hard plywood that I doubled up. The only downfall here is that you can't collapse this very easily. You'd have to remove these bolts, and that's kind of a pain, but it can fit in your car if you only have a few of them. Wouldn't be good if you were trying to move like 10 of them at once. They'd be kind of all, interlocked in different awkward ways. The wheels have locks, and the wheels are great. So that's the main thing. It is adjustable. I can't do it right now because the sculpture is really heavy, but there is a way to raise this up. So that's sculpturedepot.net, and I think that stands, it's about $430 today. Now when I got it, I think it was maybe 200 something. This one used to be distributed by Sculpture Depot. This is called the El Dorado stand. Unfortunately, they don't make it anymore. It was kind of an expensive stand at the time. I think it was about $750. But the great thing about it is you have the crank for ease, and this is all collapsible. So you can put this back down. You can take this off. And that's a great travel stand. Super strong. Again, the El Dorado. Unfortunately, I don't see anyone manufacturing this anymore. They have a new one with a crank, but the base is not collapsible. It's like the other one I just showed you, with the that kind of tripod that's fixed. So unfortunately, I don't see this one being manufactured anymore. I'm not sure what happened, but I think they were making it in Mexico, and for whatever reason they stopped. So those are two that I bought. Now I'm going to show you some that may surprise you. Things I like to use that were not made to be sculpture stands. This is actually an old overhead projector stand, if you're old enough to remember those. This was in like a local elementary school that was being shut down. So all I did was it used to be multicolored, so I spray painted it black, and I added some nice plywood to kind of fill that recessed tabletop. Now the downfall is it doesn't rotate. Now I can sort of move this. This is a heavy sculpture. Or the wheels are good enough, I can just turn it like that. So it doesn't have a turntable on it. You could put a turntable on top of it. The nice thing is the storage here, so you have two levels. You have your clay and your tools there. And there's also storage inside this door here. Okay, so if you can get your hands on an overhead projector stand, they might be undesirable now with the new technology. And I'll show you a couple stands I've made myself. This was kind of just one that came out of improvisation. That same elementary school had some microscope stands. I think that's what this was. So I took the microscope, or the microscope was gone, I think. It was just a stand, and I bolted it. I cut this piece of wood out of an end table. I bolted it on here. The good thing about this, it's very heavy, so it really grounds it into this this vertical pipe. And this pipe was part of an old fan. It held a big fan. And I'm not sure who made this, but I found it at an antique store. So the whole thing's really heavy, but since it didn't have wheels, I went to Home Depot and got got this round piece of plywood, and then I put wheels on it. So I made my own wheelbase, and it doesn't go up and down, but it's really heavy. It spins well. It's not jiggly, and I like that it can come apart. So when I travel, I actually do bring this one to workshops because it comes apart. Here's another one that I made myself. This base was from some kind of easel stand, very old. I think it's cast iron at the bottom. And then I just manufactured a tabletop. Now it used to spin better. I think there's some gunk in there that's making it hard to spin, but again, not adjustable, but the cast iron base is such that it's very safe. It's hard to tip it over. So I really like that one. And a really cheap option, I think this was like a plant stand. My dad had it at his house, and he just asked, can you use this? It used to be white, so I spray painted it black, and I cut the legs shorter, so it'd be more useful. But again, that's a great secondary stand, like if you have a reference, like a skull or another sculpture that you want to look at. Sometimes I put books on there, on a book stand. So anything like this that's small, doesn't take up much floor space, I think that's great. Another useful tool that I have in the studio, and I think every sculptor should have this eventually, is some kind of ladder that's not rickety and not dangerous. I really like this because when you step on it, the wheels lock. You know, they're like spring-loaded, so I'm not even sure where this might have come from, but it was in an antique store, so I picked it up. You know, sometimes you take a risk. You're not really sure if you're going to use it, but I can tell you, in my case as a sculptor, I've used this a lot. There are a couple more stands online. You can go to Dick Blick or Sculpture House, and they have some metal stands that are stackable, that have wheels on them. They're pretty good. They're probably about, you know, $250 to $300 each, but I don't have any here, but I've used them in other workshops. So anyway, I hope this helps, and good luck.